Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel.
Yeah.
We're diving into some fascinating news today that could really shake up the world of finance.
For sure.
We're all about empowering you all
Yeah,
to navigate this complex world of finance.
absolutely.
And today's topic is no exception.
Yeah, this is a big one.
We're talking about the potential
Right.
for banks to become major players
Mm-hmm.
in the crypto custody game.
It's a development
Oh, yeah.
that could really blur the lines
Yeah.
between traditional finance
Right.
and the world of crypto.
Okay, so what sparked this whole conversation?
Wow.
What happened?
It all started with a recent decision by the SEC
Okay.
to overturn a rule known as Staff Accounting Bulletin 121.
SAB 121.
All right, let's break that down a little bit.
Sure.
What exactly was SAB 121?
Okay, so
And why was it such a big deal
yeah,
for banks that might be interested in crypto?
SAB 121.
Yeah.
It was put in place during the Biden administration.
And it essentially made it very costly and complex
Okay.
for banks to hold crypto assets for their customers.
Got it.
They were required to treat these assets as liabilities, which added a significant layer of risk and regulatory burden.
So it kind of discouraged banks from even dipping their toes into the crypto custody waters.
It made offering these services unattractive from a financial and operational standpoint.
Makes sense.
But now, under the new Trump administration, which has a more pro-crypto stance,
Right.
the SEC has decided to scrap SAB 121.
Interesting. So this change in the political landscape seems to be kind of a driving force.
It seems to have played a role, for sure.
Yeah, behind this shift in the SEC's approach.
The Financial Services Forum, which represents some of the biggest banks in the U.S., have been pushing for this change, arguing that SAB 121 was hindering innovation and preventing them from meeting the evolving needs of their clients.
That makes sense as more investors become interested in crypto.
For sure.
It's only natural for banks to want to offer services that cater to those demands.
Absolutely.
Right.
And with SAB 121 out of the picture, the door is now wide open for banks to enter the crypto custody arena.
So what does this mean for banks?
Wow.
On a practical level?
Yeah.
Will we see them rushing to offer these services overnight?
Well, it might not be an overnight transformation.
Okay.
But the removal of SAB 121 certainly removes a major obstacle.
Okay.
It simplifies the accounting process and makes offering crypto custody much more appealing.
So it's safe to say
I think so.
We can expect to see more banks entering this space.
Yeah.
Potentially competing with existing crypto-native firms.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Some banks like U.S. Bank and BNY Mellon
are
already offering crypto-related services. So they could easily expand their offerings to include full-fledged custody solutions.
Now, BNY Mellon, they're already set up to handle custody for Bitcoin and Ethereum, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
They have the infrastructure in place. So with this regulatory hurdle removed, they could quickly become a major player in the crypto custody space.
For sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
This shift in the landscape brings up a really crucial question.
Yeah.
How might this impact the average investor?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Is this ultimately a good thing?
Right.
For people who are looking to invest in crypto?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag.
Okay.
On one hand, banks are generally subject to stricter regulations and security protocols than many existing crypto custody providers.
So theoretically, that could offer investors a greater sense of safety and security for their digital assets.
Especially for those who might be hesitant to trust less established crypto native firms.
Right. Those firms that have only been around for a few years.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so that's the plus side.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's another side to this coin.
There is.
What's the downside?
Well, it has something to do with the whole decentralization aspect that's so central to the crypto ethos.
Right. One of the core principles of crypto
is
this idea of removing these intermediaries, cutting out the middleman, and so shifting control of a significant portion of crypto custody to these big traditional banks could be seen as a step back in that regard.
A lot of people see it that way.
Okay, so there's this tension here.
There is.
Between the potential for increased security and the potential erosion of the decentralized nature of crypto.
That's the heart of the issue.
Okay.
It's a trade-off that investors and the crypto community as a whole are going to have to grapple with.
And it's not just the philosophical implications, right? There are practical considerations, too.
Yeah.
Like how this might impact fees.
Absolutely.
And access to different services.
Right now, we don't know how banks will price their crypto custody services.
Right.
Will they be competitive with existing offerings? Or will they charge a premium for the perceived security they provide?
Okay, and will they offer a full suite of services?
Right.
Like trading and lending?
Yeah.
Or will they stick to basic custody?
That's a good question.
Yeah, those are all questions that remain to be answered.
It'll also be interesting to see how this development affects the rapidly evolving world of decentralized finance.
DeFi.
Or DeFi.
DeFi has been gaining a lot of traction.
It has.
Offering innovative financial services that are often more accessible and cost-effective than traditional options.
And if banks start offering similar services with the backing of their established infrastructure and regulatory compliance, it could put pressure on DeFi protocols to adapt and evolve.
Yeah, it's almost like a classic David versus Goliath scenario.
Yeah, I like that.
With DeFi being the nimble innovator and traditional banks being the established giants.
But remember, David did win that battle.
He did.
It'll be fascinating to see how this dynamic plays out in the world of crypto custody.
So we've got these potential upsides and downsides for investors, but then you've also got this competition that could be brewing between DeFi and traditional finance. Speaking of battles, I'm guessing the regulatory landscape
absolutely
could be another key area to watch.
The SEC's overturning of SAB 121 is a major development, but it's just the first step.
So there's still a lot of uncertainty.
A lot.
About how this new era of bank-backed crypto custody will be regulated.
Will new rules be introduced specifically for this sector?
Right.
How will regulators balance the need for consumer protection with the desire to foster innovation?
Okay.
These are all questions that are going to need to be addressed.
It sounds like we're heading into uncharted territory.
We are.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's a dynamic and evolving landscape.
For sure.
One that will require both banks and regulators to adapt and navigate with caution.
Okay, so we've thrown a lot of information at our listeners.
We have.
What's the key takeaway here?
The key takeaway is that the financial world is undergoing a profound transformation.
Okay.
The lines between traditional finance and crypto are blurring.
Yeah.
And this shift towards bank-backed crypto custody is just one piece of the puzzle.
So what you're saying is it's more important than ever for investors to stay informed.
Absolutely.
Do their research and really understand the potential risks and rewards of this evolving landscape.
Exactly. And as the story continues to develop, we'll be here to provide insights and analysis to help you navigate these uncharted waters.
All right. So we've talked about the potential impact on investors and the regulatory landscape.
For sure.
But let's hear from some of the people who are actually working in this space.
Absolutely.
What are the experts saying about this shift towards banks offering crypto custody?
Well, one prominent voice is Mark Palmer.
Okay.
He's an equity research analyst at the Benchmark Company.
Got it.
And he believes that this move by the SEC could pave the way for traditional banks to just dominate the crypto custody market.
Dominate.
Yeah.
That's a strong word.
It is.
What makes him think that banks have that kind of potential?
Well, Palmer argues that banks have a few key advantages. First of all, they already have the infrastructure and experience in handling large amounts of assets securely. They're also accustomed to navigating complex regulatory environments.
Right. They've been doing that for a long time.
Exactly. And let's not forget, they have deep pockets.
So they could potentially outspend and outmaneuver existing crypto custody providers.
That's the idea.
Okay.
And Palmer isn't alone in this view.
Oh, really?
Stephen McClurg, the CEO of Canary Capital, predicts that we could see a wave of mergers and acquisitions.
Interesting.
As banks seek to quickly gain a foothold in the market.
So instead of building their own crypto custody solutions from scratch, some banks might just buy up the companies.
Exactly.
That already have the expertise.
It'd be a much faster way to enter the market and acquire the technology and talent they need.
It sounds like this could be a major shakeup.
It could,
for the crypto custody landscape.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
But you mentioned earlier that this transition probably won't happen overnight.
Right. Most experts believe that banks will start cautiously.
Okay.
They'll likely focus on providing custody for Bitcoin and Ethereum initially.
Makes sense.
Those are the two most established cryptocurrencies.
With the largest market caps.
Right. So kind of dipping their toes in the water.
Exactly.
With the biggest players first.
They'll want to test the waters. Make sure that their systems can handle the unique challenges of crypto custody before venturing into the wider world of altcoins.
So a measured approach.
A measured approach.
Before diving headfirst into the deep end of the crypto pool.
I like that analogy.
And while the overturning of SA 121 is a significant step, there's still a lot of uncertainty.
There is.
Surrounding the regulatory landscape.
Absolutely.
So banks are going to be proceeding with caution.
I think so.
While they kind of wait to see how the rules of the game evolve.
Precisely. This is uncharted territory for both banks and regulators. How they navigate this new landscape will shape the future of crypto custody.
Okay.
And potentially the broader adoption of cryptocurrencies.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But as always, we want to hear from you. Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on banks entering the crypto custody space?
Yeah. Is it a positive development? Or do you have some concerns?
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let's get a discussion going.
And let's continue the conversation.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Into the evolving world of finance.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you